So a few weeks ago I built this water wheel, but it just seems a bit off, you know? Probably because of this one singular alone cliff area I made so the roof didn't blend in with the hill, but now it just seems off. Like I said. So my best idea to fix it was to add an entire surrounding area that actually fits in with the build. Well, obviously, that is what the title says. So, time-lapse. Okay, so first I made the water around the water wheel a bit deeper because honestly I forgot why, but I think it makes it look better. Then I've removed the foliage because it's like grass and stuff, so ew. And now since I barely put any effort into it last video, I'm adding waterfall-y glass effects to the waterfall because that makes it look a lot better, I think. And then I added those Herobrine stumps, but don't worry, I'll make them actual trees later. Now, I'm adding more rocks since it's weird having only that one bit to make the thumbnail look simultaneously better but also worse. But these are in a different style to the original ones because consistency, and also this style looks better. If you're wondering why I messed around with the biome around that pillar, I'm testing out how it looks like shading under the trees, and don't worry, it'll be very useful later. But now, wow, I'm doing more rocks, but gasp, from a different camera angle. Whoa. So now I'm adding more rocks, but this time they're smaller and less cliffy. And then I add nothing. Oh, of course, a rock. So now for these thumbnail cliff rocks, they serve their purpose okayly, but don't really match the style of these new rocks I'm doing, so I had to change them up to make them look nicer. I didn't have to, but you know, as I said, nice and like, well, yeah. So still I'm doing these cliff rocks because there's a decent amount to do. I feel like this is what most of the video will be like, just rock, 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 more rock. Not even any paper or scissors. Like the video if you got that niche reference. Okay, I think I'll just speed up these rocks time lapses even more because I'm so nice and don't want this being as unwatchably boring as usual. Ooh, look up there, there's even more Herobrining that I'm doing. But well, should it even be considered Herobrining because like, this whole thing is, my name may be Ryan, but I am no hero. But his second whole thing is removing all the leaves from trees because like that's supposed to be creepy, and well it kinda is to be fair, but like that's the thing, he removes all the leaves from the trees, but I'm not doing that, I'm just erecting wooden pillars without any leaves, so like there's no creepy removal. But also anyway, all the wood's much bigger than the average trees, so like it's already clearly unnatural. But like, so with the Herobrine trees, but like, it's different though, because like, my poles are clearly too large to be natural, but the Herobrine trees aren't, so it's like uncanny valley because, well, not entirely, because it's not just slightly off human, because all its leaves are removed, so it's kind of like bald people, but no, that's not exactly correct, because on average, bald people aren't creepy, so maybe it's more like a guy with all the skin removed, because that's kind of creepy. I mean, not in media and stuff, but imagine if you were like walking down to your local Greggs, because you really needed a sausage roll in you, but then there was just this across the road. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd be rather perturbed and like increase my pace quite a bit. But well, I mean, also, what am I going on about? This is a Minecraft video. Anyway, so I did some basic shading on the rocks and now I'm changing the ground from grass to moss because it'll look better for this build like that. But you know what will look even better for this build? Actually nice coloured foliage. Oh, never mind, there it goes. Past me was dumb and didn't finish mossing all the rocks. But oh well, it's fine, I've put all the new foliage back in them now. Adding moss carpet onto quite a lot of the rocks to make the moss surrounding them blend in a bit better. You can barely tell from up here, but I actually have a texture pack that adds a drooping thingy what's it part on the side, which just looks so nice. In case you want it to, it's on Vanilla Tweaks somewhere, just Google it. Whoa, look, now I'm building a tree in Minecraft. Like, unusual at this point because I've just been not really motivated to build any until now, I guess, but these are pretty boring and unimaginative trees compared to a lot of my others. But anyway, to actually talk about the design of them, I tried out a hopefully more realistic looking tree design and even tried out using tough blocks in the trunk because the good builders do that, therefore it's like good probably. Also, as you can see for the leaves, trees, I did a light dark gradient on it, which was surprisingly difficult. Not because it's complex or anything, I'm just bad at using Axiom. But also I used glass panes, as you can see, because I'm not sure how to explain it, but like, you get it right, it just kind of looks good like that. And if you're wondering why I always drench the trunk in water before actually doing anything good to it, it's because I wanted to clear the area around it, because I just did, okay, and the water was the best way to do that. So now I'm unherobrining the forest, thank God, even though it can barely be called a forest, because if you really look at it, there's not actually too many trees there. Also, underneath the trees I put darker green blocks that look like shadows under it. Ooh, so you remember that floating block from the first video? Well, I'm changing it to be quite bigger and to actually fit in with the build, but obviously I am literally showing that on screen. But also down here at the other floating block, I tried to do a similar-ish thing, except it's a bigger lump at the top instead of actually being floating, but at the time I thought it looked kind of bad, so I just went for that spiky bit. So now it's kind of hard to see, but I'm adding some cyan stained glass into the sea to look like waves, which do look kind of meh when viewed like this in video form. But think about the thumbnail, you know, it's a static image, so that doesn't matter. But well, that is all I've to say, so alrighty then, here is the tour. As you can see, I haven't done much, except for this smoke coming from the chimney that was also built off camera last video. But I quite like the way I've done that. I don't know, there's just something about it that seems nice. But for the rest of the build, there's really not much else to say. I can just like show you around. This bit feels a bit empty actually. Probably should have added something here. Oh well, floating island up there, and this from this angle. Wow, this is so entertaining, isn't it? So, for the people that have made it this far in the video, I would like to ask for video ideas, please. It's not that I don't have any, it's just I'm just kind of not bothered to do my ideas. Also, especially make them like horror ideas, because I want to do more of that stuff. It's just I do have no ideas for that, except the one which is kind of massive. So yeah, but that's it, so thanks for watching.